Hi everybody, how we doing? We're going to go over a comprehensive tutorial of hand signals and clicker training. We're going to do 6 signals. They're going to be place, sit down, stay, watch, and hear. So that's going to be place for your place training, sit for sit, down for down, watch for eye contact, stay for do not move, and hear for recall, right? All 6 of these signals, we call them signals because they're mainly hand signals. Dogs are visual learners, so we're going to be mostly concerned with not just the shape of our hand, but the motion of our hand combined with the motion of our body. So really the signal is all-encompassing. It isn't just the hand, it's the posture and the body pressure as well. The clicker is going to be placed in between the command and the adherence to the command. As soon as whatever we're requesting of the dog is completed, we're hitting the clicker. So if we ask the dog to place, when the 4th paw is on, we click. If we ask the dog to sit, when the butt is down, we click. If we ask them to down, when the barrel of the chest is down, we click. If we ask them to stay, we pause until they've stayed, and we click. When we ask them to watch, we bring our signal up, we get eye contact, we wait, hold the eye contact, click after a few seconds. When we recall, we click once the dog reaches our target, which is going to be our right hand. We're always going to be cupping the hand, clenching, the hand, to give the impression that we may have treats. Maybe we don't, maybe we're working a treatless session, but we're still going to revolve around this. So the signals are going to be based around a clasped palm. A couple things to remember. There are always 3 ways to reward your dog when you're training: pets, praise, and pay. Pets being physical touch, praise being vocal reinforcement, and pay being treats. In the beginning, focus 90 to 100% on paying, and then eventually you want to move towards just praise. Also make sure your dog is motivated before you work. Make sure they're hungry. Make sure they have energy. Make sure your sessions are short, 10 to 15 minutes. Break. You can do 2 to 3 a day. That'd be fine. And then when you're finished, make sure there's a clear indicator that you're done training. That will also be administered via a signal. Again, both hand signal, body language, clicker, and application of reward as well. So Ness is a little bit tired, but should be good enough to run through these quickly. I will show you what they are right now, including the relinquishing of training signal, and then I will run through them together in sequence. Another thing of note, your sequence can vary, but in the beginning I would keep your sequence predictable so that the dog builds up some confidence in what you're asking of them. And I like to say they get some wins in the beginning, some easy wins. They can predict the patterns, they get encouraged, they have a sense of pride and accomplishment, and then you can make it a little bit more challenging later and vary the patterns. But in the beginning, a predictable pattern will make it so that your dog starts performing with high level of motivation and is getting a lot out of it right away. Right? Build up the confidence and then challenge them when they have high confidence, rather than challenge them when maybe they don't have low confidence, but they haven't had successful wins built up just yet. So the signals are going to be up. Final note, working on a place cot is imperative in the beginning. Eventually, you can work on the ground, on the grass, on the carpet inside, on a couch, on whatever you want to work your dog on. But in the beginning, working your dog on a place cot, like you see her laying on there, or we're going to use this chair over here, it's imperative to their ability to enter into a training mode and to focus. The higher the elevation, the better, within reason. Obviously, you know, dog's not going to jump all the way up here, but the higher elevation will garner a higher degree of focus, because it takes more for the dog to break that place. Once they've committed to placing, they're on a different plane at that moment, and they're used to operating up there until they're released. Whereas if you're trying to do this all on the ground, which is possible, but on a flat surface, that's going to be a higher degree of difficulty, because that is where the dog normally roams. So they're going to be in a place where they're 99% of the time free, and then you're going to ask them to train there 1% of the time. Can you achieve that? Of course you can. You should be able to get your dogs to down and sit and what have you, out on walks even. But when you're conditioning it in, when you're practicing your training, when you're doing your daily reps, you're going to want to do it on a place cot that's ideally elevated to give them a higher degree of focus. I'll run you through the signals now. It's 6 commands and 1 relinquishing of commands. So 6 commands and then 1 signal to end the session. Place, sit, down, stay, watch, hear. That's the 6 commands. 3 is the relinquishing of the session. We're going to run those now. Feel free to rewind that as many times as you want. All of the movements are intentional. It isn't just a palm this way and a palm that way. It's this and that. It isn't just a stay, it's a stay. And it isn't just a here, it's a here. As you'll see, the signal is the entire person. Don't get it confused and just think that the signal is my hand and we're placing, sitting, downing. It's the entire body. Dogs are visual learners, and we want to make it as easy on them as possible to achieve success in a basic obedience session. And the best way to do that is to utilize our entire body, not just little hand signals, and definitely not just our voice. Eventually, you want to make it harder, you want to just do vocals, that's fine. There's a reason that in obedience competitions, you are not allowed to use hand signals, you are not allowed to use body signals. That is because that is the main way that dogs learn, and that is a very challenging competition. So they're only allowed to speak in those competitions. We have domestic dogs, we don't need to concern ourselves with that, but over time, as we say both of those paired things, the vocalization and the body and hand signal, our dog will start to pick up on the words, but that will come later. It's not as important as the signals. It's most important that the dog responds to the signals, but for the purpose of this video, for the purpose of some people wanting their dog to just respond to vocal signals more than hand signals, which is your choice, I'm going to say both at the same time. You would do the same if you wanted to build up the vocalization. And listen for the clicker, so volume up. There are different times that I apply it. Some are immediately when the body is manipulated, and some are duration commands, so I'm waiting to click until the dog has achieved enough duration to whereas the command is considered to be accomplished, like enough eye contact and enough stay, and enough impulse control on a place. So run those back if you need the signals again. We're going to do it now. She's getting tired. It's like 90, so we're going to run these quickly. We're going to get her inside and then wrap it up. Place. Sit. Yeah. Down. Watch. Stay. is a dog that trains every day, and she still needed a little bit of a reminder when she tried to break place that you cannot do that while we're in an active session. So all that I did there was apply my universal negative marker. As you heard, that's my corrective marker, that's my negative marker, whatever you want to call it. It's not a big negative, it's not a punishment, it's a disruptor, that's all. So keep that in your pocket as you're training as well. The session is not over, so I didn't give my free command yet. We're going to run it one more time because she was a little bit sloppy, and you want to end with her being a little bit clean. You also want to end when the dog is still motivated. So if the dog's completely disinterested in training, you've trained too long, shorten up your session next time. Place. Yeah, sit. Yeah, down. Yeah, watch. Yes. Stay. Here. Good girl. Good girl. Free. There is still a click for free because we're dispersing treats, and we always want to look for opportunities to condition in the clicker and not waste any chances we have to communicate to the dog that this noise equals some form of reward, whether that's pay, pet, or praise. Some form of reward is always going to be distributed after this noise, and they need to get in the habit of that. So even though we're freeing our dog, we still clicked and paid because that's what I just said. Conditioning the clicker at any opportunity that we can. Those are our 6 signals with our 1 relinquishing of training signal, and this is in this heat probably about the length that I would run a session accurately, but I wouldn't have been speaking and instructing the whole time. I would have been running reps. Probably with my dog, by about the 3rd repetition, I would switch the order up a little bit. But if your dog is really used to it and you want to switch it up quicker, that's fine. But I would say at least doing the first whole set in a predictable order will get your dog's confidence level high enough where you can then challenge them and they won't, fall below threshold and get discouraged to the point where their confusion disallows them from responding well and in a motivated manner to your obedience commands. Hope that makes sense. Basic obedience session, 6 signals, 1 relinquishing signal, clicker timing, and talked about the 3 methods to reward your dog. Thank you, Ness. Let's get you out of the heat. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.